3-5, solving equations by multiplying or dividing decimals. Let's look at this first problem. 1.5x equals 4.5. We want to know what x equals. We're going to solve this equation just like we would solve other equations. We ask ourselves, how am I going to get the variable by itself? In this case, 1.5 is bugging x by multiplying. The opposite or inverse of multiplication is division. So I would take and divide both sides by 1.5. The 1.5 divided by 1.5 cancels. X is left by itself. And now I need to take 4.5 divided by 1.5. I know that my divisor cannot have a decimal, so I multiply both the divisor and the dividend by 10. So now the problem becomes 15 divided into 45, which would be 3. So I know that x equals 3. Please pause the movie and copy this example into your notes. Let's look at this example problem. It says Mrs. Garcia runs an average of 12.5 miles per week. How long will it take her to run a total of 250 miles? Well, I know that after 1 week it would be 12.5. 2 weeks would be 12.5 times 2. 3 weeks would be 12.5 times 3. So I know that the total miles is going to be 12.5 times W, however many weeks I run. That's going to equal the 250 miles I want to run. I ask myself who's bugging W because I want weeks or W by itself. 12.5 is bugging W. The opposite of multiplying is to divide. So I now have 250 divided by 12.5, which will get W by itself. Again, 250 divided by 12.5. I have to multiply both by 10 so that the divisor does not have a decimal. Now, if I move the decimal to the right inside the division bar, I need to fill that space with a 0. So this would be 2,500. 125 does not go into 2 or 5, but it does go into 250 2 times. 2 times 125 is 250. 0. Bring down the 0. 125 goes into 0 0 times. So the answer is 20. So the amount of weeks it will take me to run my 250 miles will be 20 weeks. Copy this example into your notes. Pause the movie now to do so. Let's look at a couple examples. Practice 1. Who's bugging R? Negative 2.3 is bugging R by dividing. The opposite of dividing by negative 2.3 is to multiply by negative 2.3. The 2.3 divided by 2.3's cancel. I'm left with R by itself. And now I need to multiply 2.3 times 0.5. That's a negative 2.3. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Placeholder and the rest. So this is 115. Now where do I put the decimal? In this problem there are 2 places to the right of the decimal, so I move the decimal over 2 places. My answer is 1.15. Pause the movie, copy practice 1 into your notes. Let's look at practice 2. I want x to be by itself. Who's bugging x? 2.3 is bugging x by multiplying. The opposite or inverse is to divide. Oops, Ms. Garcia just found a mistake on the practice 1 problem. The 0.5 times the negative 2.3 is a positive times a negative, which should be a negative 1.15. Please go back and fix that in your notes. Let's get back to practice 2. We divided both sides by 2.3. So 2.3 divided by 2.3, they cancel out. And I now have 1.15 divided by 2.3. Okay, 2.3 can't be the divisor, so I move the decimal one place over each time. I now have 23 into 11.5. 23 does not go into 11, but 23 goes into 115 a certain amount of times. I'm going to guess 5. Let's try it. 23 times 5, yep, is 115. So my answer would be 0.5. So 0.5 equals x. Pause the movie and copy this example into your notes. Now I'd like you to pause the movie and complete these 6 problems. You will bring them into class tomorrow to be checked by your teacher.